Howdy, I'm Thomas Blair.
And I'm Mark Halash.
And today we are doing another episode of Crowfall Live. This is more of a show and tell one where we show you things.
And tell you about them.
And tell you. And then towards the end, we have a longer than normal Q&A session in this one. We've been running over in all these, so we will try to not go too far over. Does it sound good?
Yeah, don't talk so loud because I can't hear you. That's good. We're good.
No sound delays and everything? Okay. So we had one of these last month. This was our first one last month, which was where we talked about the upcoming race class split. So I see people are filtering in very quick. I'll let more people filter in. But basically, last month we had our first one of these. We talked about race class split. There was a lot of good ideas in there. In fact, people were like, hey, where are our racial skill trees?
Right.
So today, one of the things that we're going to be showing you is what we've taken that idea and we ran with it and built some racial skill trees.
Indeed.
In fact, we started the stubs for some class skill trees, and we're working on redoing some of the combat trees as we speak.
It is Tree City.
It is nonstop Tree City, which is great. So, which was great. Thank you for the idea. We're always down for helpful ideas presented in a calm, succinct, lucid manner, if you please. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and we can show you the outcome of that. My screen is so dark because it's the middle of the night. It is, in fact, 21, so it's 9 o'clock.
That is 9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock. But we're going to, well, I'll change the time of day when we start demoing some of the stuff. Oh, not settings. We want to go into the skill trees. So check it out. So right off the bat, many of you may notice these look completely different to some degree for the ones that you've been looking at for the last couple of years. The race class icons are placeholders. Again, this is a work in progress. So what you're seeing today, we're showing you some of the even earlier than you normally see, because normally it goes up onto our live service, and then that's the first time you guys get to see it, or in a write-up. Today, we're actually going to show it to you. And why don't you talk a little bit about the template and the design we use for these?
Absolutely.
So we left this last month. They're like, hey, why don't we have some race trees? And we're like, that's a good idea.
Good idea. We're going to make some race trees.
We'll go talk about the race trees. And we actually came up with a template for race class and what's going to go into the combat one. So you can talk about that for a little bit.
So, and just let you guys know, there's placeholder art for a lot of this stuff. But essentially, so what we've done is we've created some race trees, right? So, I mean, the pattern that we're using is basically, so we're going to start you in the racial basics tree, right? And that is going to split off into 3 trees, which are separated into man, Sylvan, and monster, right? And so man includes human, Nathari, half-elf, and half-giant. Sylvan includes wood elf, high elf, fae, and deer person. Elkin. And monster includes Ganetian, Stoneborn, Minotaur, and Centaur.
So does that mean if I'm playing a Minotaur, I will get benefits for the man tree?
No, you won't. But
damn it.
It does mean that if you are say you go into the man tree, so this is the man tree here. You see it starts with tradition of mankind, goes through on the top here we have some attributes and whatnot. So constitution coming through here a bunch of times. We have some spirit, so it's sort of like a support line up here, right? We have something similar as well, some more offensive related skills, right? And so you have sort of a combat section here, and then we have crafting and harvesting sections here as well. So you can see that humans get ore related stuff, right? And the type of crafting they're good at to start with is blacksmithing. So what this basically means is that if you choose to, if you're playing any one of these, you go and take the man tree, you get credit for those even if you're playing a half-elf or if you're playing a Nathari or whatever.
Okay.
Right? So, I mean, basically, each previous tree gives benefits to the rest of the tree behind them, right? So, I mean, you'll get all the benefits of racial basics.
Can you click that one?
Sure thing. Here we go.
Okay, so everybody gets credit for the racial basics.
So
Okay.
no matter what you're playing, you're always going to get what's in racial basics.
Great.
Right? And then if you are playing, say, for example, a human, you will get everything in the man tree. Right?
As well as
everything in the racial basics tree. And the last branch that we have here is we break up into human, which is Nathari and just regular human. And on the other side of that is the half-breeds.
half-breeds being
Half-elves and half-giants.
okay.
Right? And so in this case, you can see, it's the same sort of similar situation, like I said. There are placeholder icons here, so but you can see there's stats, support stats, combat stats, and you can see that their
half-breeds are very good at digging up graves.
Yep.
It seems
half-breeds are grave diggers, and necromancers is what they get. So really, what's going to happen here is you're going to come through and you're going to wind up with everybody's going to wind up with a number of two harvesting and two crafting sorts of things by the time you're at the end of the tree that they're very good at.
okay.
Right? And there's several paths to the same situation. Like, for example, humans at the top level get ore, but also I believe if you go down the monster line to, I believe it's the Underfoot, I think we're calling them.
Underfoot, which is
Ganetian and Stoneborn. You can see they also get ore. So I mean, it doesn't mean like, oh, you have to be a human to to be good at ore harvesting. There's also Ganetian and Stoneborn get the same thing, but a little different. They get jewel crafting, right?
Okay.
So I mean, they need you'll get the ore, but they get the rares from the ore for to use in jewel crafting.
So I mean, but again, this is on the account level, right?
Yeah.
Again, all of our skill training is on the account level, and yeah,
I mean, it's pretty great. I mean, this is essentially, it's sort of like the gift that keeps on giving, right? There's benefit for you as you move forward. There's always
obviously there will also be more color in here as soon as Lars
Right.
makes his color pass. Right now, it's all blue because blue is our default color.
Mm-hmm.
Just again, this is early in the phases, which is why
Yeah.
some of them didn't have.
Yeah, they don't have
icons.
icons.
Some of them don't even have icons yet. Now, this does mean, so one of the things as a side effect was I killed the leadership skill tree,
Mm-hmm.
and the vessel skill tree are now
sort of wrapped into this one.
yeah. So leadership had its pieces moved to, and I can just show them really quick. Underneath each of the basics trees is where that leadership tree went. So this was the leadership tree portion from leadership tree, but this was the exploration portion. It's now located at the bottom of the exploration. The combat one is located at the bottom of the combat one, and the crafting one is located at the bottom of the crafting one. Now, in the race basics is where you'll also see some leadership stuff in the range increaser for how far and how good of a leader you are, essentially. So that was some of the shifting we did around based off of that. Now, that pattern is going to be followed in class.
Yep.
Class isn't done yet, and combat will also follow a similar pattern. And that's just kind of to show you, hey, somebody had a great idea,
Yeah.
and we just kind of ran with it and went, let's just use this moment to restructure a lot of our skill trees. So,
A lot of good stuff.
a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
So, what is going on here? So you're seeing time of day here. I think it's early morning.
Yeah. Red sky in the morning.
The red sky is
Good
coming
morning.
up in the background
I mean, it's gonna rain.
in this
No.
in this scene. I am currently playing a wood elf female ranger.
Sweet.
So this is also very early in the process. As you'll notice, hey, her hair is missing. Hey, can I get some cats up so I can make some commands and do some things? I'm going
Cats are up.
Cats.
to give her a set of basic equipment. And, oh, looks like the sun's coming up, so I don't need to change the time of day. We can just enjoy the sunrise together. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to put a helmet on her, and her hair is going to appear. Obviously, that's a bug,
Mhm.
right? This is, again, we're
Right.
kind of
This is today's build.
We pulled the engine out of the car, and we're now doing the things and putting the engine back in. I'm going to put the rest of the set on her. And since she is a ranger, as you'll notice by her power tray, I'm going to equip a bow and some arrows. And her powers are going to light up there. This is the Wood Elf female now. She's a Wood Elf. Now, you also notice in my inventory here, I've got 2 of weapons now. So one of the things we found we had to do, paired weapons are gone. They're a thing of the past. You actually now need to equip a main hand and an offhand. So you can do mismatched weapons if you want to, or you can do a matching pair of weapons. This does mean that the one-handers, we're going to be tweaking the stats downwards because the dual wielders can wield 2 of them.
Yep.
So it may be in the future that ambidexterity becomes a minor for certain classes. But you can see, oh, I wanted to shoot there. Yep, that's right. Let me, some of her transition animations are doing their thing. So when she's in melee, it's trying to put her back into the bow animation.
Yeah.
Those are some bugs that the animators are working out right now. But you can very clearly see her tray is all ranger, and she has a bow. I am in the bow stance, and now put me in the melee stance. Great. Let me shoot an arrow just to get that to do its thing. In fact, let's just go out of combat mode. So, last month we also talked about the racial basics, and we showed them some pictures. Today I'm going to show you. You'll notice now there is a race discipline just baked into the character.
There it is.
You can't unequip it. It's highlighting with a square. That will be changed. The passive is automatically applied. It's called Wood Elf Bloodline over there. It will get added back into here. It's just a display thing. It doesn't really matter because we're automatically granting you these powers. And you'll notice that as a Wood Elf, I get Dissipate and I get Camouflage. So let's actually load out. So I'll show you. As a Ranger, I've got, so you see I'm dodge rolling right there. Well, let's go ahead and let's load out Dissipate. Boop. And I'm just going to load out Camouflage as well while I'm in here. And we will wait for my power. There we go. Okay, so now when I right click,
boom,
I am a ranger with
a teleporting ranger.
With a teleporting ranger. Oh my. So there you have it. Wood Elf racial number 1. And then Camouflage, if you remember, was kind of like the Predator suit. Wink, wink. So as I'm moving around, I'm getting a little bit of distortion from some reflections in the scene. Effects is working it out, but you'll notice when I stand still, I actually go into the stealth state. So, and you'll notice I get an icon over to the upper right that says hidden. Can I not have that up, please? No, I can't do that. So you can see Camouflage is active when I'm hidden. When I actually start moving, the hidden will go away, and I'm kind of got the Predator suit shimmery thing going. You'll also notice that my stamina is slowly draining over time. We're still tweaking with how long you can stay in the camouflage state.
But it's going to be forever.
Yeah, I'm effectively stealthed right now. The server is no longer sending data down to the other clients in the area. If you were to try and pop me out of this, you could either be hitting an area with AoEs, or you could use one of the anti-stealth powers to try and pop me out. But as long as I stay still, I'm hidden. You can't see me. And then the second I start moving, boom, I'm out of stealth. I have camouflage active. It's still going to continue to drain my stamina. However, people can see me moving around in Predator suit mode. Second I stop, I go into stealth. Pretty cool stuff. Okay. So that's actually power in action. And it is a toggle power, so to shut it off,
hit it again. You
just hit it again, and it will, the toggle will go into cooldown before you can activate it again. That way, that doesn't mean that you have to be with that translucent shader on you at all times.
All Predator all the time.
So, what else am I going to show today? I am going to stop and log out to a different character. What? Cameraman rotation has an NAS, NANS. I don't know what that is, but
Not a number.
Not a number, but I wasn't getting that error last night. That's interesting.
Well, new day, new bugs.
A demo.
Demo.
Something's got to go wrong.
Demo time.
So, yeah. Okay. So, we're going to go back into Greybox World Kingdom. And I am going to pick a centaur. What should I be? I think I can be right now a champion centaur.
Can you? Okay.
Yeah, I can be a champion centaur male. Yeah, you'll see our little window here. Not all of them have been activated yet.
Yeah,
so sometimes you go in
all.
and you'll end up on something incorrect. But this is for us, obviously. We generally know what we want to be testing. So then I'm going to enter the world as my centaur champion, who gets really big when he goes Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
It's pretty insane. And it looks like the sun is coming up again. I may have to set the time.
It's very dark.
Oh, it is in fact 11 o'clock. There's the mist coming in and it's rolling away. It's now 6 o'clock. Okay, give me some cats
Must be
again.
winter.
Cats are up.
Okay, let me set that time to afternoon. I said set it to noon and it set it to 7.
Did you mean 7:40? That's good enough.
That's close enough. It's bright.
I'll give you a...
Okay, so we are going to equip an axe because I am, as you'll notice down below, I am a... You know, let's see what happens when I leap.
Probably just...
Ugh!
That's all right. Yeah.
That is awesome. Centaur champion. Yep. He is pretty cool. Okay, so what I wanted to show you was I was going to show the racials for this guy. And go to the racial tree for him. He gets... Oh, let me go full screen. Okay, he gets dodge, he gets wild charge. Very similar to the old Legionnaire charge, except his version is he puts an armor break on anybody he hits while he's charging. And then he gets 2 toggles, and only one of them can be active at a time. So doing one will shut off the other one. And you'll notice he gets a horseshoe slot. So I've always wanted to give the Legionnaire an extra set of boots, but I didn't want people to get confused on, does this one take damage? Can I get hit there? Because we have hit locations. So we made them horseshoes, so they will have stats like an extra set of boots. Because I've always thought that was amusing. Okay, so I'm going to load out Strength of the Legion, and I'm going to load out Hippocratic Oath. So this one gives you support power to all of your group members who are nearby, and Strength of the Legion. You guys are very familiar. We've had this one. However, now it's a
goodie.
Yep. Now it's a toggle, and you actually have to turn it on. So I'll toggle it on, and notice the effects goes off. I've now got Strength of the Legion, and everybody who comes by is going to get the benefit of that. If I get hard CC'd, it's going to shut it down.
Right.
That's how all of our toggles work. That's part of using a toggle.
Yep. Toggle your toggles.
And my other option is Hippocratic Oath. And this one gives a support power buff. If you have 2 centaurs in your group, you can keep both of them up. Each of them can run one of them. And you're going to see that mechanic really soon with the cleric up and coming. You also... This is not intended to be like Bard Song twisting. So we don't want you to be able to twist between the two. We're going to do some preventative stuff to prevent that from happening. But basically, it's not like Bard Song. Bard Song's designed to enable you to twist. This one is, in fact, not. But it's yet a cool thing you get for being a centaur.
So what happens if I'm a centaur cleric? Does this replace the cleric's buffs?
It does, in fact, not.
There you go. So this is bonus extra stuff.
And if you're a bard, in theory, you're running 3 toggle powers at the same time. However, if you get hard CC'd, it's going to take you 6 seconds to get all of those toggle powers back up.
Yeah.
Because each of them has a 2-second cast time. That's just part of using toggle powers.
Yep.
That's the way we intended it to work. And we are going to get some better UI for that so that you can see which one is actually active. I've seen it in the mock-up for the new power tray. It's just we need to implement that UI.
Yeah. For now, you just have to remember which one you clicked.
Yes.
Until we get that in.
That is once we do the new power bars that will get replaced. Which leads me into other UI that we have been doing.
Yes.
Which I will press.
Boom.
Boom.
Look at that.
So one of the things we wanted to know is we were in fact getting confused as to what combo we came in on.
Mm-hmm.
So as you clearly see, I am a champion centaur male. So I know.
Right there.
Yep, right there. That will tell me these two disciplines will tell me which disciplines I have equipped.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to give me some cats.
There's some cats.
Which cat do we have up?
You have Blossom and Buttercup up.
Oh, yes. So those are our part of our two most recent fosters that I had at my house. Let's do major disc. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I just flooded my inventory with
some items.
With disciplines. Okay. You can make the cats go away.
There's one.
So Poisoner. So if I were to go over and load out Poisoner, you will notice, boom, my
Look at that.
character info instantly updated. Thank you for that, Susie. I now know that I am a champion centaur male Poisoner friar, whatever. Did I have? That's it. Oh, I actually have more.
Oh, you have them stacked on top? That's pretty...
I think it actually came from overflow when...
it might have.
Yeah. So nice. I can make that bigger or not. And one of the... Go ahead. You're gonna say something?
I think I was going to say what you were about to say, but go ahead.
Obviously, we were trying to do a lot of things with this character sheet. One of them is reinforce that, yes, we are an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Go figure. We've been asking kind of people to just kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And now we're going to start codifying those things. And you can see that increasing strength is going to also increase my attack power and damage bonus.
It's been something everybody's been asking about for quite a while. Like, how do I know, like, what spirit does? How do I, like, if I want more crit chance, what stat do I want, right? Ta-da!
Ta-da! So there will all be tooltips over here that tell you that. Things like weapon damage, which are actually come from several sources. They come from your min-max weapon damage stat. They come from the weapon. They come from attack power contribution. When you hover over that area, it will tell you all of that in a nice tooltip, so you know what things you need to increase.
Yeah.
So
some of these are not. I think some of these numbers aren't hooked up yet. Like the weapon damage is bogus. Obviously, it's not really got 1082 to 1545, but
work in progress.
Work in progress.
Yeah, we're just showing you. This is the character sheet we've been talking about. It will also show you if you were to click on.
Look at that.
The armor tab. It tells you for what slot, what mitigation value you have there. So if I were to equip this helm, boom,
look at that.
You will notice, hey, if I get hit in the head, I have 20% to slashing, piercing, and where is crushing on here? Why don't I see crushing?
I don't know. What is crushing supposed to look?
Crushing is supposed to look like a little hammer.
Yeah, I don't see crushing. All right.
Yeah. We could probably take off the hunger one if we're out of room for crushing. Because you don't see a lot of hunger damage, not since...
Yeah.
However, so these stats are coming from skill trees, obviously. These, and then the armor stats are coming from... I don't want to put on the full set because it's actually making me... It makes your body disappear right now.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So, again, we're ripping a lot of things apart to make a lot of things work, but that is kind of where we're at. How are we doing on time? It is 11:30. I think we can start answering some questions. So, Mark, are you going to man the questions today since it's so far over there from me?
Sure. Since you have... what do we have there? Yeah, okay, so are attributes, this is from Coolster50, are attributes homogeneous across classes, or do they affect different stats on different classes?
So, one of the things that you're going to see is we'll have 3 archetypical kind of character sheets. There's Fighter, Mage, Rogue. It's funny because
Did we show that? I
we
don't think we clicked on that. but-
it's not hooked up yet.
Okay, all right.
For the character sheet. This is just the fighter one.
Mhm.
So for the mage sheet, intelligence is going to be at the top, and attack power and damage bonus will derive from intelligence, I believe, on excuse me, the mage.
So I think the idea is we want to show you the information that's immediately most important to you. with
Correct.
these, right?
Also, but more closely to that question is dexterity will always be the crit chance mitigation bonus stat, which means if you want to be a critty confessor, for example, you're going to have to put points into dex. And if you want a lot of crit amount, then you're going to put it into intelligence. So naturally, confessors are going to have high crit amount. However, they're not naturally going to have high crit chance unless they skew their build that way. Again, it's about giving you guys a whole bunch of...
They might have high crit chance, but not necessarily directly from attributes.
Well, yeah, they have low. Depending on... I'm not sure which of the confessors can have a higher dex. Do the Elkin have a high base dex?
Oh, geez. Fays generally have higher dex, higher than average dex.
Okay, so if you wanted to be a super critty confessor, you'd probably go for an Elkin. Now, if you wanted to go... Actually, you know what? I think damage bonus is linked to strength all the way through these. I'm still in the middle of wiring all that up, so I have to look at my sheets. And if you played a human who naturally has a higher strength, you're going to have higher damage bonus, but less likely to crit. That is correct. So there's going to be a lot of build options.
Yeah, yeah.
This is going to get crazy quick. And now they can see them.
That's the important part.
Now you can see them. All right, next question.
Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, you have to use the...
that is the worst.
Do you want the mouse? There's a mouse.
Yeah, mouse is easy to use as opposed to...
Who likes touchpads?
No,
I don't know. Nobody.
I mean,
likes
really.
touchpads,
Nobody.
especially when
Who
trying
likes
to scroll
touchpads?
with a touchpad. Where's the?
There's a USB, 2 on this side and 1 over there.
All right. You got anything? All right. Let's see.
See, somebody says no one. I
Are
can see
all
that
the
from here.
cleric powers toggles? No, the cleric power is not all toggles. They have 2 sets of toggle powers they can, or 2 toggle powers they can choose to load out or not at their choosing.
You will find out more about the cleric later this week, so I don't want to spill the beans on too much.
Okay, I guess I will say nothing more. Can you see the name and health bar above a wood elf who is moving with their camouflage up, but not in full hide? In other words, yes. Right, they would be visible. Right, so if you're still in predator shimmery mode,
Correct.
then you're visible. Right, so you'll see their health bar up there and whatever other effects if they cast a spell or use
We
an
didn't
attack,
give them
you
a
see.
shimmer on their health bar as well.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if we want to answer that one yet. How does the... Do we want to cover this one yet?
Which one?
Is that something we want to talk about yet, or is that... Let's see.
How does the new skill training work for VIP people? The current 1 main 3 archetype things. We have no idea yet. We're still talking about it, so we're not going to talk about it. We're just building the content, and I think it's way better.
Yeah.
I really like the new design much better. We'll see where it falls out on how much and how many you can train.
Let's see.
Will you break out of stealth if you blink?
If you blink, will you break out of stealth?
Probably, right? I
if
mean,
it triggers the started moving check.
Well, you probably should. So
you know what? Let's
we're gonna
try
make
it
sure-
while we're answering more questions.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Like my design sense says you probably should, because the idea is So duelists specifically, we give them basically a dodge or a teleport or whatever you want to call it, while in stealth, and that's one of their things. I'm not sure if we want to have that on the base level, basic stealth, which is basically what camouflage is, right? It's a basic level of stealth as opposed to the specialty stealth that assassin and
I may need to
duelist will
submit
have.
a new ticket. Let's see if this works
Yeah,
or not.
we'll see. We'll let you know in a second.
Okay.
But either way, we'll probably make it break you out of stealth.
Wood Elf Ranger female. Next question. We can answer that while I'm setting up.
So are you still considering promotion training class trees?
They have the breakdown is similar to race, and when you go into like barbarian or chivalry, we can always build trees off there if we want to do stuff. We're not painting ourselves into any corner, which is great. Can I get some kitties?
Yeah, so they're not off the table, but they're not in now.
Yeah,
basically.
All right, you are good with kitties.
And it's not like anybody would be able to get to them based on the new times, right? To get to the third tree, to get to a fourth one deep, is well over a year of training.
Yeah.
So I would worry about promotion stuff based on that is a future problem.
Who's the other guy on the stream? You mean Jack?
Jack?
Jack.
So behind the screens over there, we've got John Gibson, our video producer, as always, being surly and smiling now because I said surly, and we have Jack manning the questions. Who is Gibson's assistant? Intern?
You had an answer to this.
I'm everyone's intern at this point.
So if training skills takes time, how will the newcomers deal with this?
That is a future catch-up mechanic problem that we've been talking about for a long time.
Are you done with kitties, by the way?
I am, in fact, done with kitties. Let me get myself some weapons. Actually, give me kitties again.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to change this.
Kitties. Kitty cats are up.
Yay, kitties.
Let's see. What's your plan for time of day and night? Will it affect visibility?
Yes. So, all right, kitties finished?
That sounded like a question, but I'm taking kitties away.
So the question was, is time of day, how's it going to affect things? Did you take the kitties away? There we go.
Yes, I did.
Okay. You clearly see, I can see during the day. At nighttime, I couldn't see anything around me. That will probably lead to torches and things like that. Most certainly, in fact, lead to torches. And Todd and I have even talked about night vision and things like that because, hey, night vision is cool.
Right.
Let me go ahead and make this full screen. And let's go camouflage and dissipate. I am standing still.
You are hidden.
I'm
hidden. Not hidden. You are hidden.
So I did that because right now I can only trigger the hidden check after I've moved once after activating this because I don't have a predicate on is standing still. I only have one on started and stopped moving. So I have a ticket on that. Let's see if we need another one. Okay. So I am currently stealthed. And if I move forward,
you're not stealth.
Oh, hey, look at that. So it pops you out for a second and then puts you back into it, whatever the delay is. So basically, teleporting does trigger the started moving check. So, boom, I'm out of it for a second. That's pretty quick. We should.
Yeah. We might tune those numbers.
Yeah, we might tune how fast you need to. Because right now, what is that? Is that less than a second?
It kind of feels like it.
So, Predator, stop.
About 2 seconds, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
happens pretty quick.
Yeah, we'll definitely tune those numbers. Like I said, these are new, very, very new. Like
we were making it fun and work first, and then we can tweak the how much of it do you get and
make it not OP.
Yeah, and make it so it's not super OP. Okay, next question.
Oh, let's see. How are y'all gonna rework arrows for the post-Spirit Bank era? Currently, if you die, you lose all your stacks, lose all your arrows, blah, blah, blah.
So I guess they were using the Spirit Bank to get around having to carry lots of arrows or make arrows in between deaths?
That's kind of what it sounds like. You would lose every arrow you have severely gimping the ranger.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because I don't know if y'all see it as an issue.
I kind of don't. Right? I mean, I'm guessing right now they're probably dying more than they're going to. Once all things are said and done.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just doing fights in little arenas and then just running back in I don't want to say don't die or get good, but I don't think people are going to be dying and getting back into without re-equipping, right? I mean, when you're sieging, yes, but we've always talked about there are going to be
lines, right?
There's going to be chests there where you're going to have to put stuff so you can re-gear for stuff that you lose. And I don't know what the rule set is for losing arrows. That's an interesting one. Why are they not? Oh, let's walk through this question. Probably because they only have so many equipped and they're carrying around many thousands. I haven't shot.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how many you bring into a fight. If you bring several thousand to a fight, if you just I'm going to make a ton of arrows and not worry about arrows, kind of defeats some of the purpose of arrows because they're
limited ammunition.
It's limited ammunition for a purpose. So, yeah. Again, that's more gameplay tweaks that we will see as we're actually into real sieges and less of an arena. Oh, I ran out of stamina, and look.
Oh, there you go. You're visible.
I'm visible. So, there you go. Now, of course, once my stamina comes back, I can go back into it. We're going to obviously be tweaking things. Next question.
Let's see. Can we expect to see in the next test some stealth-specific class, or what other plans are there for the next updates regarding race class?
So the next big update you guys are going to see is the 5.2 campaign stuff. Some of our early backers are already in there. At least we were fighting them yesterday in our internal playtest. I saw Strather out there, and was he chasing you?
Yeah, he actually chased. Yeah, I beat him and somebody else. 2-on-1, actually, pretty good fight. And then I was trying to get trying to find the main fight. And so Strather followed me for a good 5-10 minutes.
So we already have people
before I found everybody, and that was pretty quick fight. It was like a 6-on-1.
Yeah, you were playing a champion.
Yeah, I was playing a champion.
Anyways, we have people in 5.2 right now. Our pre-alpha 1 backers, I believe, 1 and 2 maybe are in there, and then that will roll out to more backers soon.
Yeah, very soon.
And that's the next big one. Race class, all of the stuff that I'm showing you right now is actually going to be in what we're calling 5.3, which is the next big patch after the campaign worlds come online. There's still a lot of animation work that needs to get done to make all of the class race combos work. This is not at all a simple undertaking. Things like dual wield have a couple bugs with them still. In fact, did I actually show... Let me show the Minotaur, because it's more impressive with his when he loads out mismatched weapons.
Right, and there's even implications for the whole dual wield, the whole dual wield thing, right? That basically means that if I'm equipping a sword and a mace, you get credit for equipping both of those, right? So it means we're going to have to do, it's part of the reason we're revisiting, for example, the weapon trees is that sort of change means we're going to have to adjust stats anyway.
But yeah, so the duelist actually has this right now, which is they can double dip in the pistol tree and the rapier one-handed tree. So Minotaur, Myrmidon, male.
So double dipping's a thing now.
So we have to account for it. Yeah, we know it's going to happen. So now that we're prepared with that knowledge, we're going to go ahead and make things work, because we're going to assume that people are going to
have to, right? I mean, either, basically that does also mean that our two-handers need to have more, the stats have to be commensurate to somebody equipping 2 weapons. So that means we need to bump those stats up.
Okay, Kitties, for one last second.
Let there be kitties.
Let there be kitties.
All right. Wait, hold on. Just 1 second.
Okay, I'm good. Actually, no, I'm not.
Okay. All right, keys are back up.
Okay. We've got some light. I am good. So, you now see me on a male Myrmidon. And I'm going to equip 2 basic one-handed axes. And you'll notice I have my sweet axes. If I take one off and I put a mace there, I now have... Look at that. I now...
Boom.
Boom. I've got a mace and an axe. And yes.
Yep. You're getting credit for both.
It is cool. It is totally cool. Or you can go... Let me see if the paired axes work if I unequip it in this order. Or paired maces. Yep.
Okay.
There you go. Paired maces. So, people are going to do it. You get credit for... As you know, a lot of our skills only activate when you are equipping the proper thing. They say when wielding a one-headed axe, blah. So those skills are all going to activate based on you mismatching weapons like this. So
that pretty much means everybody will have 2 things they can equip in a slot for the most part, right?
So
either a shield, like for example, a shield and a weapon, or a weapon, or a 2-handed weapon.
So here's one of the things you'll notice as well is if I only have 1 weapon equipped, I can no longer do my powers. Now it says requires dual weapons. So, whoop, and my powers come back, and you see I can do them. Sweet. Next question.
Any idea on the Fey and Elkin racial abilities?
Yes. However, I don't have a Fey model, and I don't have an Elkin model right now.
I'm excited about the Elkin. It's looking good.
Yeah, so the Elkin model is making its way through the final art pipeline. I can't wait to see him in because he will be technically, I think he's the first one that was built without under the old archetype system.
Yeah.
Every previous one, even some of the assassin stuff was done as the Fey as an archetype. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're still trying to wrap our heads around, which is also one of the reasons why we did the character sheet. Because I'm like, what am I? Oh, I can just open the character sheet. I'm a male Minotaur Myrmidon. So I can now have knowledge of actually
what you are.
Because
you could be a champion. You could be a cleric, right?
No. Myrmidon? No. Minnows don't get cleric.
Okay. That's right. Oh, that's right. That's it.
They don't get knight, do they?
I honestly don't remember off the chart.
I didn't bring the chart. Yeah. And so many things. Mm-hmm. We sleep.
Lots of things.
We sleep in between days. And technically, when you talk to Borland, he also likes to say how many sleeps it's been since I told him something. And if it's over 2 or 3 sleeps, you're just like, I've implemented so many things in the last 2 days. I've forgotten things that I implemented last week. So that's how it is. Because we have to implement 1,001 things.
Mm-hmm. Something different every day.
Yep. Another question?
Will the Ranger get a class-specific stealth power or mechanic?
Will the Ranger get a class-specific stealth? Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that was sort of the thinking.
Yeah. I mean, now that I've proven Camouflage, they might just get that Camouflage with a longer duration than the Wood Elf one, which would make sense. And then if you're a Wood Elf or Ranger, you just get a slight bonus to the time as well.
Yeah, we're not done with Rangers, basically. We're still
right. And again, we haven't
finishing touches, basically.
We haven't pulled in the stuff we wanted to put on Stalker in there yet. So we'll loop back around probably after either Assassin or after Frostweaver.
Mm-hmm.
Can we dual wield shields?
Can you dual wield shields? That always comes up.
Yeah.
We have not built any animations that assume dual wielding of shields. And right now only the Knight, Druid,
Cleric.
Yeah. There's a 4th shield user. Isn't there a 4th?
Druid, Cleric. Who else we got shield to?
I guess that's it. Okay, there's 3 shield users. Yeah. Those are the only 3 with shield animations. and they didn't build the main hand assuming a shield.
Yeah, no Captain Americas.
Well, actually, the knight's kind of Captain
Yeah,
America.
that's true. I guess he's
got a
got
shield
couple-
throw.
Shield throw.
Okay, next question.
Do we have the Minotaur racials in yet? Is there any way you can show them what that is? Since you've got a Minotaur up.
What are the Minotaur racials?
Look at that. Look at that bullhead.
Look at that cow.
Blood diced.
What do they get? So there was something else in their basic.
They were gonna get the charge. Are you still giving them the charge?
Oh yeah, I wonder why Minotaur charge hasn't migrated over here.
Yeah. So they're gonna have a version of the charge.
No, wait. Elkin got the.
Or did we give Elkin that?
Elkin got the charge.
Okay.
Minotaur got this, and something in their baseline passive was. Oh, you know what? We can go check. This taste for blood. Yeah, let me take that down. No. I'll have to ask Akshay where the is it in fact even being granted to me?
May not be. I mean,
Yeah, so for whatever reason, the Minotaur one isn't being granted. It feels like there's one missing from there. Oh! The mini Bloodthirst.
oh, that's right. Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, it's
the mini berserk.
not. It's a
basically.
mini Berserk.
Yeah,
So this is Bloodthirst.
that's right.
That
yes.
is, in fact, that's what that is. So if you're a Myrmidon, you probably not going to want to use this.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You'd
In
want
fact,
Myrmidons.
This was the one that I put in. Now I remember. This is the one that I put in the cooldown for, such that if you use it, it puts your berserk on cooldown.
So
So-
no doubling up on
No,
these.
no double dipping on these. But why?
'Cause it's most certainly not as good as Berserk, but it's still really good.
Yeah. So basically, the Minotaurs get a racial berserk. However, that damage is converted into a dot, which happens over 6 seconds after the effect wears off.
Right.
So they're still going to take. Actually, I think I mitigate a little bit of the damage,
Okay.
but basically that gives you time. It gives you
Right.
time to get a heal. Basically,
It's not going to prevent. Well, it might prevent some of the damage, but for the most part, you're still going to have to deal with the damage. But it's
right.
giving you time.
So in fact, I also believe I was able to get the heart meter, even though the arrows are showing up. So basically, I'm just soaking up damage, just like Berserk now. And when it wears off, it's going to put the Bloodthirst Crash on me, which has no damage in it right now because I didn't take any damage there. But again, it follows the theme of the Minotaur for whatever classes they get.
Myrmidon,
Myrmidon and
Champion.
Champion. So you
Those
probably,
two I know.
what the hell is the third?
I don't think they got Knight. I could have swore they got something like I don't remember, honestly.
Who's got the chart? Who's got the chart? We had the chart from last one. Jack,
I can pull up the chart.
find the
Pull up
chart.
the chart.
Find the
You'll
chart.
Find
the
the chart. And the Minotaur bloodline, why is it not showing up? I can't
It's
remember.
there.
Yeah.
Certainly there.
This is why we didn't show this one.
Yeah.
So anyways, next, let's go to another question.
Let's see. Are you still planning on overloading a player with powers inherited by a class, i.e. giving 15 powers and giving them more choices in how to load out the power bars? You mentioned something about that in a previous stream.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of already are, right? I mean, I believe, Cleric is actually going to be the first one where we sort of do that, like, out of the box. But, I mean, we've already have Knight has more powers than you can load out, for example. And I don't expect that. I mean,
Yeah,
that-
if
that's
you were
gonna
to put
continue.
any discipline powers on, or like he's done, he's got one slot left.
Mhm.
So
I mean, there's already, right, we're
Now-
already just over, your cup runneth over with,
we're giving you lots of choices. So obviously he has room for 2 more if he wants to use all the basics. And if
Minotaurs, by the way, get Ranger, Myrmidon, and Champion.
Ranger,
that's the one.
okay,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, okay, so Ranger with Bloodthirst, which is basically it's a really
Yeah.
good oh shit.
Imagine that. A Ranger with Bloodthirst. Who can
Yes.
possibly stealth berserking.
You continue to recover 50% of the lost health for a second. So when the effect ends, you suffer a Bloodthirst crash and take 50% of the lost health in the next 6 seconds. There you go. So there's the tooltip. Now, Yeah, next question. I'm sure this question says scroll blind. I'm sorry I can't see the chat from over here. It's just out of reading reach.
Are all Myrmidons getting Bull Rush?
Are all Myrmidons getting Bull Rush? I think the question was, is all Minotaurs getting Bull Rush?
No, it's all Myrmidons.
Well,
Since they will no longer inherently be cows.
Correct.
Bull Rush.
Correct. I think we pulled it. We pulled it from. It's on the list to be pulled.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in the 5/3 branch that we're kind of gradually ripping off of the classes that don't need it anymore. Yeah, so you can see at nighttime, it's definitely...
It's very dark.
It's very dark.
Super, super dark.
Okay, so the Minotaur didn't get one of the speed enhancers. They didn't get either Trailmaster or Trailblazer. And yeah, you can look. It's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Knights get a new resource aside from Stamina?
Will Knights get a new resource aside from Stamina? I don't see that happening right now. They are Stamina guys.
Any skill wipes incoming?
Are any skill wipes coming? Absolutely coming with 5/3. You saw the new skill trees. There's going to be.
We're blowing them up and rebuilding them essentially.
Yep.
So.
And this will actually be our very first skill wipe. We have yet to do one in the entirety of this project, so this will be interesting. And I mean, it's just in the past we've rearranged skill trees.
Yeah.
This time we are just detonating.
Yeah, because I mean, there's two. Like the structure's not even the same, right? There's not even there's no correlation really between old stuff and new stuff. So we sort of have to.
And on the back end,
clean slate though.
Yeah, on the back end, we don't want to look at all the numbers out of order forever. That would just drive our OCD brains insane.
Yes.
So we're just wholesale creating new ones in a new order. Next question.
This is a little off topic, but will Knights affect nameplate range?
I don't believe so.
So with it being dark, will you be able to see somebody's nameplate from like forever away when you wouldn't be able to see them normally?
So interestingly enough, that is actually driven by a stat. The distance on nameplates. So Sam gave me a stat, and I can increase or decrease that value based on the stat. So
the answer is maybe?
The answer is maybe, because it already exists and it already works. All I have to do is just...
Right, need a hook in.
So our hook there would be time of day. Basically, we need some procs for time of day and...
There you go.
Potential.
Nicholas Lionrider said, I want a campaign that has health bars and names turned off and it's always night. That would be terrifying.
Yeah, so... Would that be fun?
I don't know. I mean, if we made it really small, put it in like a,
That's always we can do that, but should we do that kind of problem, right? So we have those all the time because there's lots of things we can do, but should we do them?
Right. It's a good one of those prototype and try.
Will we be able to dual wield pistols?
As a matter of fact, actually no. That's a good question.
No, rapid fire for pistols is the only one where they're actually shooting two pistols.
Right.
And Go for Broke, I think, is the only one where they're shooting two pistols. So the answer is no. Do they actually even... So with Master of Pistols, you still load out Impale, right?
Well,
so
you could, right? I mean, nothing's... Well, true.
I don't know why you'd want to, other than looks, because you're going to lose a huge chunk of stats.
Right.
If you were to load out, because you'd lose all of the benefits you're getting for the rapier from the the skill trees. And I don't think we have the animation for it anyways.
This is true.
Because your fidget is going to have you fidgeting with the rapier, which also, incidentally, is our only left-handed main weapon. So
that's true.
That has been causing us all kinds of problems with the Ganetian, because the Ganetian knight is equipping his shield and mace in the wrong hand. And in fact, he's putting everything in the left hand. Like the shield and the mace are both going in the left hand. So
Nations be left-handed.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but sometimes we just choose to make things difficult on ourselves.
Can a single vessel be used to play all the classes available to that race, or will you need a new vessel to change class?
You can use that vessel for all the classes. So our goal is the vessel will have its disciplines are going to be baked into it.
Mm-hmm.
So once you equip those things, they're baked into that vessel. You can't take them out anymore. You're going to want to reuse that vessel, and you can jump between the classes that are available to that vessel at a temple. Not at a dragon statue, at a temple. So that's one of the things they're going to see in the campaign world is if you want to change vessel, you have to go all the way back to the beachhead and do that at a temple. You can't do that at a dragon statue. Dragon statues, by the way, are where you resurrect if you die while you're out in the world. Yes, some of the things that you have grown accustomed to, just as a you being the broader audience, is instantly being able to swap disciplines and instantly being able to swap archetypes. With all of these, as we become more of a game, swapping disciplines is not going to be something that happens very often because they're going to come with a considerable cost.
Right.
And swapping classes and vessels is going to come at I got to hoof it all the way back to the beginning, the starting area, essentially, to make that happen. So that's not going to happen very often either. You have that option, right? But it's not going to be something that's like, oh,
right. And
I'm a ranger.
Sure. I mean, even then, you're ostensibly going to have disciplines loaded out probably for a specific function for a class. So
right. So if you had loaded out some of the range ones for ranger, and even though Myrmidon is available to that that race, you're going to probably have a custom vessel for that because you're not going to be getting a lot of the benefit from those disciplines.
Right.
Same like if you wanted to go harvesting or something like that, right? So you might end up making a good series of general purpose vessels, some very specific vessels for classes.
Different vessels for different functions.
Mm-hmm. And as you saw with the character sheet, you are probably going to start skewing the vessels towards a specific stat package. Holy crap, my int is low on...
A Myrmidon? Yes.
My int on the Myrmidon is very low.
It's a 9.
Which means my crit amount is going to be very low, and probably if I could take Friar, I wouldn't want to do it on a Myrmidon because my healing bonus is going to be very low. My spirit is also very low, which means my support power is very low, which means
basically Minotaurs are terrible healers.
You would have to really, really dump... you'd have to get a custom vessel, and the Philosopher's Stone in that vessel would have to be all spirit. See how all these pieces are starting to come together, everybody? It's like all these little standalone things that we've been building for the last year. We've really been putting into the stats effort and the crafting. They're going to start to be way more important. And you can see just by putting the character sheet in there, you're like, oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's...
Yep.
However, I'm going to have a lot of strength and a lot of con.
They're not very smart or wise, but they're very tough and strong.
Mm-hmm. And my crit chance isn't very high, but my damage bonus, when I hook that up, when I figure out what the coefficient is for that, is also going to be very high. So, wow. That's really cool.
Well, you guys, it is 12:02.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Last question or two if we have some really good ones.
Yeah, it sounds good.
I'll just keep that up. I think time of day reflects on the shadows on the character as well. Because it's sunrise is happening.
See the sunrise on your
character sheet. So, and for anyone, I didn't go into the third tab. The third tab will have a drill down into the hundreds of stats that we have. We're not getting rid of all of those other ones because they drive the game. Mm-hmm. But if you're really, really interested in your harvesting stats, you can come over here under exploration. There will be a drop down that you can drill into. We just haven't gotten to this portion of the character sheet yet. We're still working on it heavily.
Right. So it'll be a little better organized version of the great big splat of just stats that
Right.
is currently in game.
Yeah, and as you notice, we're setting it up similar to the crafting recipes drill down. In fact, yeah, you can't even click on this stuff yet.
Yeah.
This will also illuminate this is a parent stat and this is a child stat of that, so you can see it happening for very specific things.
Right, and that's the reason why that isn't a hierarchy-looking sort of thing.
Will different races have different inventory sizes?
That is a plan. There are certain, those of you have noticed the accessory sheet over here. We've had these inventory bags down here. The main one, certainly we can't prevent overflow, but there will be specialized bags that we can load out, and within those specialized bags, we can do all kinds of funky things because those are controlled by stats.
Mm-hmm.
So we can give you more slots based on stats.
Can I switch class by switching vessels so I don't have to go all the way back to a temple?
No, because you can't switch vessels in the field. Switching vessels in the field isn't a thing. You need to be at a temple to do that. So, yeah, you have to go back to the beginning.
Yeah, you'd have to die. And...
Well,
that's true.
No.
Even die is not going to do it, right?
Even if you die, you're going to go to the nearest dragon statue. You have to
like
run back to the temple and swap out at the temple, right? It's more of a strategic thing. It's not a tactical thing.
All right.
Let me try to find one more.
One more. Come on, Jack.
I know.
You can do it.
There's just so many words at once. Are there any races that give bonuses to resource regeneration?
Resource regeneration.
Like inherently in the race?
No. For the most part, if I'm remembering correctly, for the most part, you're going to find things like attributes and like sort of top level stats for those. But I mean, like I said, we can always add things, later on. But for right now, everybody, there's no distinction as far as resources, from one class to another right now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to thank everyone who came out for this edition of Live. This is the more Q&A one with the either a big topic or a demo of things we've done. The other style of Live we do is reading of the patch notes of things we built in the last month. And that one is more why we did something and a little bit of Q&A. This one is the bigger global Q&A. So we're trying to do the two different formats. We really need to come up with a different name or some shtick, like we wear bow ties in one or lab coats in one, something. But there are two different styles of these, and we are doing a 12-hour telethon. Is it 12 or 8? 12 or 8? We're doing a telethon next week.
I believe it's 12.
On Tuesday, which will show you all kinds of fun and exciting things. And anyone else have anything?
That's it.
All right. Everyone have a great day. Thanks for showing up. Hope you enjoyed this stuff. Again, this is not coming in the next build. It's coming in the race class build, which is after the campaign build. And we'll continue to polish this. And by the time you see this, it will probably look way better. Again, this is super early implementation. I just wanted you to start seeing these things. And have a great day.
All right. See you next time.
Thanks.